Good have Shabbos, everyone. Parshas Emor, Shabbos Lag BaOmer. Today's Lag BaOmer, the 33rd of the day of the Omer. This week's Parsha, we learned about Sfiras Omer. The Pasuk says, "V'sfartim lechem," you should count Machar Shabbos, after the Shabbos, 49 days after we bring the Korban Omer, after we bring the sacrifice of the barley, which is the elevation of the mind. We start to work on the heart, on the emotions. And on Lag BaOmer, the 33rd of the Omer, that's the yahrzeit, and the day of Yom Ha'ilula, the highest point of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai's life, who he is the author of the Zohar, the one who taught the secrets of the secrets of Torah, and specifically on the day of his passing, and he's called it a Yom Simcha, it's a day of joy, and people should celebrate with the joy of Lag BaOmer, of the passing of Rashbi, that the counting that we count on the day of Lag BaOmer is what's called Hod Shebahod, acknowledgement of acknowledgement. And seemingly the question is, the acknowledgement's the lowest point of a person where a person could reach, where you're so beneath understanding, you have no comprehension of godliness and Yiddishkeit, that you could only acknowledge this is the way it is. And of acknowledgement itself, you don't even have a certainty of the acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge that you have to acknowledge. Like the further away a person goes from certainty, like we have Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Ruvain is Re'iyah, to see, Shimon is to understand, so it's less you don't see but you understand. Levi is to accompany, at least you're there. Comes Yehuda, acknowledgement, you don't know. But there's two directions. The question is if you reach beyond your understanding to acknowledgement, or before, when you're just in the beginning of your starting. And the point is that Rashbi, as great as he was, is to be able to bring down that, to take beyond understanding, to go to the beneath our understanding, and to make it one. In the highest point, beyond we could reach of our comprehension, has to be able to penetrate, even beneath our understanding. And that's why it says, Mimachar Shabbos. We start counting, even though the Torah is, so to say, making itself vulnerable, by calling it after Shabbos, and then those who don't believe in the oral Torah said that has to be Sunday, always Sunday, and that doesn't mean the day after Pesach. Why couldn't the Torah just be clear and say the day after Pesach? Because it's so important, this message of getting out of the cycle of the 7 days of the week, that the Torah says that you have to have vulnerability in order to reach great places, in order to reach beyond your understanding and beneath your understanding. There has to be sacrifice. A person who wants to feel safe all the time, that's angels. A person goes out to this world and we have vulnerability. We have things that we sacrifice of our certainty, of our security, to be able to reach beyond space. And that's why, although the Torah is saying after Shabbos and gives space for misunderstanding and misinterpretation and years of arguments that the rabbis had with those who didn't believe in the oral Torah, but it's specifically because of that vulnerability is how you could reach outside of your limitations. And that's also connected to the beginning of the parsha when it says, "V'nikdashti b'soich b'nei Yisrael." The Alter Rebbe talks about there's the three levels of sanctification, and he says an amazing idea over there. The Alter Rebbe says that the first level of Kadesh is what we call Ratzeh, like we said last week, a yearning a person has towards Hashem. But Kadesh also means, like we said, the disconnect, that a person, in order to start the cycle of having avoda, of getting beyond yourself, you have to sacrifice something. You have to go Mesiras Nefesh. There's an amazing idea that's taught in Chassidus, the difference between relationship between man and woman and the relationship between husband and wife, or father and mother. Relationship between man and woman is that you both have something and you want to share it together and have a relationship. You're not sacrificing anything. You're not also trying to create something that's not there. You're taking what's there and you're trying to unite it. To have children, you have to bring something into this world that doesn't exist. And with that comes Mesiras Nefesh. You have to give away from self. In order to bring something that's outside of what exists, to bring a new light that's never come down to this world, you have to sacrifice something. You have to bring a level of uncertainty. You have to go Mesiras Nefesh. And that's what parents are. Parents sacrifice from their own life to bring children into this world, because the idea of bringing something new into this world demands sacrifice. Rashbi says in order to get outside of the cycle of the week, we have to be able to reach the lowest point of where we're holding, the place where we say, we don't know. I don't know, I have no certainty. But in that place, I acknowledge that there's Hashem, and I acknowledge that I have to acknowledge that there's a purpose of my being here. And then, through connecting to the outside space, outside of our limitations, outside of our restrictions, we're able to accomplish major things. We're able to go to Matan Torah. I want to wish everyone Shabbos, a meaningful Shabbos. It's still the Shabbos within the days of Lag BaOmer, which we poil. It says, "Dai Reb Shimon lismech alav b'shas adchak." He should be able to accomplish everything we need to accomplish, both ruchnius, spiritually, begashmis, and materially, and everything we need in bracha, refuas, yeshuas, in all kind of things, parnasa, to be barachava, with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu b'meher mamish. Shabbos.